Welcome back to Fox Sports News 500. I'm Jo Healy. Well, Jeff Horn is just days away from the biggest fight of his career when he comes face-to-face with Manny Pacquiao for the welterweight world title. Well, boxing commentator Paul Upham joins me now. Paul, thanks for coming in. It's safe to say there is a lot more on the line for Pacquiao on Sunday than there is for Jeff Horn.
Oh, no doubt about it, Jo. You know, Jeff Horn's already won. He's got this fight. I always say the hardest thing in boxing is to get the big fight. Then you've got to go and win it. Manny Pacquiao, one of the all-time greats, 11-time world champion, he's getting paid a lot of money. It won't be 10 million, it'll be probably closer to 15 or 20 million, depending on how well the fight sells. But he's got his reputation to protect. And he said he wants to get another fight with Floyd Mayweather. If he wants a big fight in America, he needs to knock out Jeff Horn. So all the pressure, you are right, is on Manny Pacquiao.
Well, Jeff Horn said last night that he's ready to step up to the occasion. But given audience numbers, particularly in the USA, this really is the biggest occasion for both of them.
Look, he's already won. Just to get this fight is a big win, and he's getting probably $1 million payday, and he's getting an opportunity to fight one of the all-time greats in Manny Pacquiao. And even if he loses, if he puts up a really good performance, Pacquiao's promoter Bob Arum, one of the all-time greats, has said that it'll open doors for Jeff Horn to get other fights in the welterweight division if he's competitive, because there's no shame in losing to a great Manny Pacquiao. Jeff Horn wants to step it a little bit further and beat a great Manny Pacquiao. And he's got a great head on his shoulders. He's going to give 100%. He's in fantastic condition, very fit. And I have no doubt, regardless of the result, Jeff Horn's going to make Australia proud.
Oh, well, let's hope so, absolutely. Now, a lot has been made of Manny Pacquiao not really paying too much attention. He's on his phone in press conferences and things like that. Is that him playing mind games, or is he really just not that interested?
I think Manny Pacquiao's been through this so many times before in much bigger fights. Obviously, that Mayweather fight was so big. But I think it's also maybe an indication that he is distracted. He's not a full-time fighter. No matter what he or his team says, he cannot be a full-time fighter because he's an elected senator in the Filipino Congress. He has so much responsibility. And he says, oh, I've trained just as hard and I'm in exactly the same condition. No way, I don't believe it, Manny Pacquiao, because you've got so many other things you've got to worry about. And that is the advantage to Jeff Horn. We're going to see what sort of condition Manny Pacquiao is in. Has he concentrated fully to his craft? And Jeff Horn's going to have, hopefully, the fitness to push Manny Pacquiao to a point where maybe he can beat him.
Pacquiao is obviously the overwhelming favourite, but he hasn't stopped anyone since 2009. Does that come into play, the fact that he perhaps doesn't have that winning killer instinct at the moment?
There is a suggestion, and his trainer Freddie Roach actually said this, that Manny said to him once, look, I don't need to knock them out now, I can just beat them. He became a born-again Christian, and I think he became aware of what his opponents were going through, because he actually lost a couple of times himself. We saw that really bad knockout loss to the Mexican one, Manuel Marquez. And so Pacquiao, he's coming across as a good guy, and he wants to be considerate of his opponents. But then when you're in a fight, you can't think about that. You have to go out there and give your best, and if the opportunity arises to knock your opponent out, you've got to take it. Now, whether Pacquiao does that or not against Jeff Horn, we'll see on Sunday. But I think there is indicators there that Pacquiao is clearly not what he once was.
If he loses, does Pacquiao retire?
Well, they've got a guaranteed rematch. So if Jeff Horn wins this fight, he's going to have to fight Manny Pacquiao again if Pacquiao decides he wants to continue on, and you would say, unless it's a spectacularly bad loss by Pacquiao, they would fight again. And that's a great win for Jeff Horn, because it's another huge payday. He'll get even more money. But Jeff Horn's just got to concentrate on the job at hand. He's got a great head on his shoulders. The crowd will lift him and just give his best effort. There's no shame in losing to the great Manny Pacquiao, but hey, if you can beat him, that takes you up to a next level.
Well, I was just about to ask, if he does beat him, let's just, be theoretical here, what happens next? Who does he fight next? Just how far can he go?
Well, there's two good world champions over in America, Keith Thurman and Errol Spence, and they are great opponents, and I can imagine Jeff Horn being promoted by Bob Arum in America in these huge fights. And if he beats Manny Pacquiao, this result will go around the world. There'll be people everywhere going to watch. It's going through ESPN in America. It's going to over 150 countries. Millions of people around the world are going to watch this Jeff Horn fight. And look, there's critics out there saying, who's Jeff Horn? He hasn't got a chance. We understand that because Jeff's on the way up, and he's going to show us something on Sunday that we haven't seen before. The question is it good enough?
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Of course, 11 a.m. on Sunday on Main Event. We are absolutely looking forward to that one, and obviously hoping that Jeff Horn does extremely well. And just to finish as well, today marks the 20th anniversary of the Mike Tyson-Evander Holyfield ear bite fight. I mean, that's just huge in the history of boxing, isn't it?
It's just one of those fights you always remember where you were, because you couldn't believe what you were seeing. Mike Tyson actually chomping down on Evander Holyfield. I'd never seen anything like it before. At elite level, it's just unheard of. It's such a big fight. They're having a rematch. It's just something you couldn't believe, and hopefully we never ever see it again, but it's something we'll never forget.
Yeah, absolutely. Paul Upham, thank you so much for joining me. We're looking forward to that fight on Sunday.
Thanks, Joe.